Alright folks, good news. This is my box of engine rebuild parts. It's everything I ordered. I got it from one source. The only thing I couldn't get from these folks was the connecting rod big end bearings. I tried to get 10 under. Nobody makes them, it seems. I could be waiting indefinitely. So I found some on eBay. I found some that are 1 under, 1 thou. So I'm just going to polish those. My connecting rod bearings look surfaces on the crank there. They look really good. So I'm going to just polish them down 1 thou and use those bearings. They're not here yet, but everything else is here. And I was shocked that this one box, which might weigh, I don't know, 20 pounds, 25 pounds, it cost me $325 American by the time it landed at my door. Disgusting. That's just the freight charges. $325 in freight charges, taxes, FedEx, not FedEx, it was UPS. I think they had fees for, they had brokerage fees, they had whatever. Anyways, it's here, finally. Let's go through a few things. I did decide to order a reprint of this Chrysler Industrial Engines book. Good information in here. If I had an industrial engine, my engine would be a 7 or a 7A, which is a 237 cubic inch engine for the DeSoto. That's some of the specs I'm going to use to go through my engine. Sent me a brand new set of piston rings from Hastings. Part number appears to be 445. This is a 237 cubic inch, 3 7/16 bore stock size piston rings. My valve guides, 12 new valve guides. This is interesting to me. I didn't know this. I learned something. This is the connecting rod small end bushing. Some kind of a bronze bushing. They're not drilled for the oil hole. I guess you're supposed to drill your own oil hole. It's easily done, I guess. And they're also not the right size. You're supposed to ream these out to the size you want. I didn't know that. Anyways, I've had a good source tell me that you don't really need to change those very often. Probably don't even need to. And I tried a new piston pin in the old connecting rod bushing, and it is tight in there. It feels really good, so I guess I'm not going to change them. Probably not. Valves made by Martin Weens International Limited. Don't know where they're made. What does it say? Los Angeles. This would be my brand new exhaust valves. I figure I'm going to do a valve grind anyways. Might as well put new valves in. Not expensive. Same thing on the intake valves. Same company. What do we got here? Cam bearings. Brand new set of cam bearings. Now those come with the oil holes drilled in them. So why is that? Brand new cam bearings from Durabond, made in the USA. I like that. Part number PD3. Rear main seal. This is made by Best Gasket. They're in Los Angeles as well. This is some kind of they call it a inside block rubber seal. I'm not sure if that's the right one. It's got the 2 little H's there for the end of the crank seals, but this piece does not bolt onto the rear of the crank on the connecting above the rear crank into the block. Does not have a plate stop. I got to do some research on that. I think it's an update. All new head bolts. This supplier did not put sealant on the threads. The last time I did it in my 53 Chrysler, the bolts came with sealant already on the threads, so gotta make sure we seal those, put it on there. Brand new set of expansion plugs for my block. Those are all going in. What do we got here? Ooh, this is the big money. Big money item. I won't drop these. These are my main bearings. And I went with 10 under on those. So I'm going to turn my mains down 10. Brand new set. That's my thrusts. And there's standard main bearings. Oh, those are not cheap. But you know, to do your research, you'll see there's a fair bit of time and expertise in getting main bearings built properly. They take a lot of abuse, and they got to be machined to exact tolerances, the right sizes. I guess it's worth the money. It seems to be. It is worth the money. Otherwise, your engine's useless. This was kind of disappointing. I did open this earlier, but it says 1942 to 54 Chrysler DeSoto 3 7/16 bore. These are the Pistons. Now, when I opened this box, all the piston pins were banging around in the boxes, banging on the piston and shipping. I think they were supposed to be shipped like that. They could have put something on there to hold those pins in place, but they fell out in shipping. And there's a few little bruises or little dings here and there. I don't see anything serious. I think I could just clean it up with a little piece of sandpaper, emery cloth, or something really fine there. Nothing too serious. I'm gonna wash those. They've had an oil coating on them. They've been sitting in the box for a while. Brand new, standard bore, 3 7/16. I think these were made by Keith Black or something like that, or somebody like that, Black Pistons, because they couldn't supply any others, but I had to upgrade. It's apparently a better piston. Oh, it does not have, the stock piston over here has 2 expansion slots on the side away from the main thrust side is on the valve side of the block, I believe. So on the opposite side, they have expansion slots. These new modern pistons do not. They're a 4-ring piston, but there's a slot here and here in the oil return for the oil groove rings. And apparently I can put these in, they're not directional. I can put them in either way, it doesn't matter. You just have standard punch on the top. I'm gonna put the standard rating, that emblem there, all on the same side. Put them towards the valve side maybe. It's fancy. Brand new timing gear set. So apparently this is a heavy duty strutted type. You may have taken your engine apart and seen that some of them do not have a groove down here in the middle of the gear, or a sprocket. I think this would be called a sprocket because it's driving a chain. This is a little bit wider and it's got a groove cut in. Apparently this is designed for the military. It's stronger, it's stiffer apparently. And the camshaft that came out of my engine and the crank do not have this style. They've got a narrower style, 1 inch or so wide. And I'm gonna have to press off the gear on the end of my crank to put this one on there. This one goes on the cam, this one goes on the crank. It's kind of hard to tell how worn these are. The spec says no more than, I think, 3/4 of an inch play or something like that between the gears or sprockets. I'm gonna have to get my old chain and hold it up to compare it for length, see if it's stretching. Just out of curiosity. And the last thing in here is a Felpro gasket set. It talks about the liter, 4.3 liter, 4.1 liter, 4 liter. I don't know. I mean, I'm in Canada. All our engines are in liters, but I have no idea what a 237 DeSoto engine is for liter displacement, but let's just assume this is the right one. Full gasket set. Hopefully my connecting rod, big end bearings will be here in the mail this week. Then I can get all this off to the machine shop. I'm gonna grab my timing gear chain that I removed from this engine, just for fun. I'm gonna compare them. What do they do with them? Here it is. There you can see the differences in the two gears. See, one's wider than the other. Apparently they can interchange easily. You can swap one for the other, as long as you get the matching chain. It's a strutted chain. There's a strut in the chain. You'll see it. I'll show it to you. A fair bit of wear here in this gear. I can see it. That chain's been chewing into there. All right, so I got my old chain, this one, my new chain. Overall, they look about the same width, but the way the chain is assembled, they're not the same width. The gear is wider. Don't know if you can see it in the center of this chain here. You can see a strut. I don't know if you can see that. This new chain has that. It's a stiffener. Apparently makes the chain somehow stronger. The original chain that was on my car did not have that strut in there. I tried to compare the two for length just to see if there's any internal wear and stretch, but because of the design of the chains, they don't bend the same radius. I cannot bend the old one. You can see it actually looks, my new one looks longer. It's only because I can't bend the chains to the same length. Anyway, we're getting new chains and new sprockets. The old stuff, I will not use it. I want to show you this. It's kind of cool. Can you see the grooving in that? It's considerably worn in there. You think a chain isn't going to stretch, but they do, they wear. And the sprocket wears, it compounds, and all of a sudden your valve timing is sloppy. So, we're real close to moving ahead. Next video, I hope to be talking about engine reassembly maybe. That would be awesome, but now I'm waiting for my spot at the machine shop. When I talked to him in January, it was about a 2-week wait. Fingers crossed that's 0, and I can just drop my stuff off and then 2 weeks later pick it up. But I have a feeling I'll be waiting. Anyways, that's the latest progress. Oh, one more thing. I did take my generator into the shop. I dropped it off, and I said, you know, it works good, but the engine's apart. Go through it, check everything out. I noticed that my ammeter was fluctuating a little bit, especially at idle, I think, if I recall. And that could be the voltage regulator, but it doesn't hurt to clean up the armature. If there's mica buildup in the armature, or if the armature is corroded slightly, it will fluctuate, is my understanding. So I had the armature machine, new bushings, new bearings, new brushes. It's tested, it's making maximum amps, it's good to go. Might as well get it done. So that cost me taxes in about $100 American to have my 6-volt generator rebuilt. And I know that guys are gonna say you can buy a 6-volt alternator, or I know, I get it. But I'm happy with the 6-volt generator. It works for me. I don't drive my car every day in rain and snow. It's a fair weather cruiser. 6 volts all I need. All right, so stay tuned for more to come as we move along here with this engine rebuild. Thanks for following along, and I'm documenting all my steps for future people that want to learn what's going on. I'm not going to give you a total yet. I'm going to add it all up, save my bills. I'll let you know what it costs. I'm not even sure I want to know what this engine's going to cost me, but I will let you know when I'm done. All right, have a good one. Thanks for following along.